Hello, fellow nerds. Welcome to our nerdiest thing. Tonight we have a very special guest. We are live with author Brittanee Nicole. Brittanee is an author who lives in Rhode Island with her husband and two children. Her town is a character in itself in all of her books. When she's not writing, she enjoys spending time outdoors by the water with her children, reading at the beach or by the pool, or really anywhere, dancing with her friends, singing karaoke, spinning, bike riding, and boating. Some of her favorite authors are Sophia Kinsella, Elin Hilderbrand, Liane Moriarty, Mary Higgins Clark, Meghan Quinn, Daphne Elliott, Amy Alves, Claire Kingsley, Melanie Harlow, Christina Lauren, Sally Thorne, and Sarah Adams. Clearly, she has a problem and can't pick favorites.
Is that all?
She is the author of the Boston Billionaire series, the Bristol Bay series, and her upcoming release, Irish. Welcome to the podcast, Brittanee. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I realized I should have asked how to pronounce about half of those authors' names.
I think you got them right, Whit. You got them right.
I hope so.
And I have to update it because I feel like I had so many trad authors there, and I really do only now read indies. So I guess I have to update that in my bio on Amazon.
There are so many good indie ones.
Right. That's what I was just about to say. Amazing indie authors. A lot are going to be at Less Than the Low Country. I can't wait.
Yes, it's going to be so fun.
So, Brittanee, tell us about how you decided you wanted to be an author. Was that something that you just knew for a long time? Was it kind of a slow journey to get there? How did that happen for you?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I think that I used to just make up stories often. And I remember we had so weird. We had like a computer area because obviously like we didn't have laptops and stuff. So there was a computer area in between my brother and my room that was like in the hallway. And I can't tell you how long I probably spent typing on that thing. And I remember like I wrote this book and I brought it to my second grade teacher and it had like so much drama in it. This woman must have been like, this kid is nuts. And it's so funny because my daughter is now in fifth grade and she does the exact same thing. But long story short, the second grade teacher was not like, you're amazing at this. She was probably, she just was like, this girl's nuts. So I didn't pursue it. I instead became a lawyer and once again wrote a lot of things and talked about a lot of things and read a lot of things. And then I got bored during COVID and decided to start writing and reading again.
There's another lawyer turned author going to Less Than the Low Country. It's A.K. Landau, wasn't it, Whitney?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, quite a few of them that I'm friends with are all that have the same story.
Just goes to show that lawyers really love romance.
Yeah.
I think it's because you guys need to escape from that hellacious job.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's not because it's so exciting. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Well, and COVID has been a really familiar theme with a lot of authors too, that time period just people needed to be creative and needed to, whether it was escape or just get that creativity out. A lot of people started writing over COVID. So your website describes your writing, or I guess you describe your writing as romance with a twist. And so I was just curious if you could tell us a little bit about what that twist is for you, like what makes your twist unique to Brittanee Nicole.
So what I really mean by that is, it's so funny because Melanie Harlow always teaches stay in your lane. So if you write something, your readers expect something. And so you should continue to write that because then they know what to expect. And I don't like to do that. My brain will tell me that tomorrow I'm going to change my mind about what I'm currently writing and will write a completely different story. So I have written thrillers, I have written rom-coms, I have written within the same series, I have written contemporary romance that's super emotional, and the book before it will be super hysterical. So you really are, all I can guarantee you is you will have romance, but there's going to be some twist on it, whether or not that's comedy or it's thriller or it's suspense or it's like super emotional. There's going to be something, but the full theme will always be romance.
Do you have a specific twist that you like to write?
I do write, I would say, very good banter. So there's always going to be banter in my books. And even if it's a super emotional book, It's so funny because people will say to me that Love and Tequila Make Her Crazy is a rom-com, and it is definitely not. It is a very emotional book. And I'm like, is there even funny parts of it? And then I read it and I'm like, oh, there's like little quips. And so I guess like there's always humor. Same thing with my Boston Billionaire series. It's very, very angsty. A lot of times you want to throw your Kindle and scream at the characters, but like they also, in every single chapter almost, you're gonna also laugh. So even though it's billionaire and it's serious and it's angsty and it's super, super spicy, I like to have humor because I kind of laugh at everything in life. So I kind of throw that in there.
I like that too. We love good banter.
We do.
Yeah.
Especially
So
in the
when-
romance scenes.
Yes.
We like that a lot.
Yes.
Yes. So when you sit down to write, you don't sit down and think, I'm going to write a dark romance. You focus more on the character, and wherever that character takes you is where it
Yes.
goes.
Yes. Irish, which is coming out in a few weeks, is darker than probably anything that I've written, which says a lot because Deadly Gossip was a book about a murderer. But this one has like a lot of dark themes that I didn't even mean to do, but the characters led themselves that way. So this book will have quite a few content warnings to prepare readers that aren't, quite prepared for that, because from most of my readers that will know me, that, they go in kind of to escape those type of things. And unfortunately, in this book, it is a lot darker.
Well, can you tell us a little more about Irish? Is it a standalone book, or does it belong in one of your series?
So it is marketed as a standalone, and I have had 3 or 4, I think I want to say. I've had 4 readers read it that have never read anything else from me, and all of them have said that it stands alone. He is, though, a fan favorite from the Boston Billionaire series. He does appear in all, so there's 5 books. He appears in 4 of them. And he plays a pretty big part. He's the best friend of the main character in the first 2 books. And the sister is the main character in the following 2 books. And he is obviously close with her because it's his best friend's sister. And he might have quite a little bit of a relationship with her. So everybody was begging for his book. I did not plan on writing his book. This is like another one of those, I was going in one direction and everybody was begging for something else. And in 6 weeks, I wrote a book that it was literally like a fever dream. So yeah, it is a standalone. She is a single mom. She's also a serial killer. So he is.
All right.
And yes,
You just hooked me.
Yeah.
and he is, he, in the last book of the Boston Billionaire series, blew up. And so everybody assumes that he's been dead for the last 10 years, but he has in fact been working with the FBI on a search for a certain someone who is the serial killer. And they do have a history. So that is, we arrive in chapter 2 with her arriving at the cabin, and then it's 2 people in a cabin, as my friend said. So what else happens?
I like that forced proximity
Yeah.
too. And you're gonna have copies of this at Less Than the Low Country, right? Because I'm gonna need to go.
I'm really hoping. We are formatting this week. We are going to try to have them there, because it's not going to be out yet, but we're going to try to have them like available. So it will be a miracle, but we'll see.
Well, if
What
it's
is-
not there, I'll get it off Amazon.
What is the release date for Irish?
October 18th. So it's after Lit.
Okay. And I wanted to hear a little bit more, if you don't mind sharing, about your other series as well, the Boston Billionaires. I'm kind of into that. I did a little bit of Googling, and I was like, I think I need to look these books up.
Yeah, so the Boston Billionaire starts with Cash and Grace. I wanted to write an older FMC, and I don't say older as in like age-wise. She is older than him, but I wanted to write older than what we keep reading, which is like 22-year-olds. So she's 36, going on 37.
Hallelujah.
Gosh, we
Yes.
totally appreciate that.
God, these girls
Yes.
I need to be 19 years old.
Yep, she's got curves and cellulite, and she's she just found out her husband had an affair and has left her, and so she is a matchmaker, and she obviously is mortified that she couldn't even pick her own husband and like see the red flags with him. So she goes on a trip, and within 5 seconds of getting on the plane, a very good-looking younger man sits down next to her and starts flirting. And he wants to help her forget about the weekend. And so they spend the weekend together. And he's just inherited this business, this whiskey business, because his grandfather had a stroke. So he is also like having this one last weekend of fun. They do not exchange last names, and she leaves without saying goodbye. And on Monday morning, she walks in, and her newest client is this man. And he's not thrilled to learn that she is married, and she is not telling people that she's going through divorce because she is a matchmaker and she does not want this to come out. So it is very angsty with him being obviously not happy with her and wanting her to set him up with other people. And they kind of have to go through those bumps and grooves. And it is narrated in duet narration by Joe Arden and Lucy Rivers. Yes, Lucy Rivers. And Joe Arden does a fantastic job with all of his lines. And it's, and he is, oh wait, I can't say what he's doing other than that, but we love Joe. We love Joe.
Project
leave
of
it that
his,
way.
you mean? You're not allowed to talk about that.
Not quite yet.
Well, and you have one other series also, not just the Boston Billionaire series, but there's one other one too.
Yes. So I have the Bristol Bay series. That was my first series. And like I said, I jump all over the place. So book one of that is She Likes Pina Coladas. And
I did not think you were going to say pina coladas. I thought that was going in a different direction.
No, she does like pina coladas. So She Likes Pina Coladas, Kisses Sweet Like Wine, and Love and Tequila Make Her Crazy. Oh, and A Very Merry Margarita Mix Up. So there's 4 books in that series.
And the alcohol theme.
I know, right?
Yes, I do.
Just wondering
I do
if she likes
enjoy.
to get caught in the rain.
Yes,
Thinking that in my head
it's
too.
all there. It's all
Okay.
there.
Good.
Yep. So She Likes Pina Coladas. It's 2 people that she puts out an ad, obviously, to go on vacation, looking for a vacation partner. And she's going to Portugal, to the Azores. And so this guy answers the ad and actually does know that he knows her. And when they show up, when he shows up at the airport, she realizes that he was the one that got away 6 years ago, and he's going to use this time to try to win her back. So it's like a cute rom-com vacation romance, with all those fun moments from the song, as well as lots of references to The Office.
Oh, fun.
That's my kind of book. So are both of those series completed series, or are you adding to either of those?
There will be a 5th book in the Bristol Bay series, because there's one character left to do. She's going to be a while though. But each book can be read alone. It's just, another character who will get a story. And then for the Boston Billionaires, each book is a duet so far. So the duets are all complete, but the siblings will all get books. So eventually down the line, but my billionaire books tend to take me a lot longer than my rom-coms. So I like to only do one a year so that I don't have to rush them, and I can really enjoy writing them and really get to know the characters. So, I mean, the fact that everybody got Irish like 3 months after me finishing one of those, and like I would categorize Irish in that same realm, they're all lucky. So they're not getting another one for a while.
So don't finish the book and 5 minutes later comment on your Instagram asking for the next book.
It's the go-to.
That's such a pet peeve of mine, when people like literally the day after release, they're like, so when's the next one? I'm like, well, let the author sleep for a second, for goodness sake. Like you don't realize how much work goes into them, like marketing their books and doing all these book tours and everything. Like, let them take a nap. Give them a year, for goodness.
What is that like?
Well, Brittany, I have one more question before we move into a couple of speed rounds. So we're going to see you at Lust in the Low Country in just a couple of weeks, which is a little bit stressful to think about. It's only a couple of weeks away. We are going to be moderating a book talk panel with you. You're really big in the book talk community and social media. And I just wanted to hear a little bit about what you love about being a part of that community.
So what I really truly do love about the community, because I mean, I know that there's a lot of things that people will say negative about the social media in general, but I do not think that indie authors would have the ability and the career that they have and the ability to reach readers without Book Talk and without Instagram. And that is a full testament to obviously book talkers and bookstagrammers who take their time to create videos and create beautiful pictures or just to share when we have a new release. Like I have, on any given day, I'm sure, and I don't, follow this, but in general, I have at least 10 posts going that are not paid by me, that are not, run by me, that are not somebody that I have asked to do, where somebody is creating something to share my books. And that is just free advertising that prior to Book Talk and Bookstagram and this like incessant obsession with books and with reading just didn't exist. And I think any author that probably existed 10 years ago and, started this career, they said like, you guys have it so much easier than we did because we had to like just kind of hope that like through snail mail, somebody would like talk about our book to their friends at their book club and maybe you'd sell like 3 books. And now obviously I would honestly say most authors are probably selling more than like small bookstores on a daily basis just because of Amazon, honestly, and Book Talk and Bookstagram. So I mean, I credit my entire success to quite frankly a reel on Bookstagram. But like it just takes that one to kind of get you out there, but it's the daily posts that really, without them, I couldn't do this.
And I will say Bookstagram and Book Talk, there is a community behind that, unlike any other type of career on social media, right? So I have a design page, and I mean, I went looking for the same type of community that Book Talk and Bookstagram have, and it literally does not exist. What I love about Bookstagram is it doesn't feel like a competition amongst each other. It feels like a family. And it's so funny. There's people coming to Lust in the Low Country that we consider friends that we've never met, right? And people that we talk to on a daily basis. And how cool is that? And how cool is it that that's become the norm of getting to meet people in this day and age? I love Bookstagram so much.
It's definitely a game changer.
It is.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I just got a text message from I was just in Salem this weekend meeting readers that I had met through Book Talk. And she's like, I'm so happy I got to spend time with you. And I got to meet them this weekend in Salem. And I mean, I wasn't signing there. I just wanted to go up and support some friends and meet a bunch of the people that, came around the country to there. And some of them are going to Lit and some are going to Love in Vegas, but it's so fun. I've become so close with some of these people. Like one of the other authors and I have gone on, I think, 3 vacations with like some of our readers together, and we have like girls weekends, and it's a great community.
We are into that, and we volunteer. It's fun.
Yes, so fun.
Okay,
yeah, I love it.
We're going to go ahead and go into our nerdy and dirty speed round. And this is just an opportunity where I'm going to give you some prompts and I want you to name the first thing that comes to mind. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is the last movie you watched?
Well, the last one I'm talking about is Serendipity. So I'm going to go with that because I had to look up some stuff from it. And I couldn't tell you the last movie I fully sat through.
Are you talking about the John Cusack one?
Yeah.
Okay,
love that
movie.
awesome.
Perfect.
I love that movie.
One of my favorites.
If you could be any fictional character, who would you want to be?
Tessa from my book, Wishing for Champagne Kisses. She is a firecracker. She's hysterical, and she ends up with a lumber snack.
Oh. Do you relate to her in any way? Like in real life?
I mean, all of her lines are me.
You don't have a lumber snack at home, unfortunately.
No, I don't. He's not a lumber snack.
What book series do you always recommend?
I I saw this and I was like, I know what this, Claire Kingsley. I love her, Martini series, the Dirty Martini Club.
Mm-hmm. What kind of music does your main character listen to?
In Irish, it is, like, I don't know how I would categorize it. Vance Joy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I'm going to look at it. What kind of music is it?
They had a really big hit, Riptide.
Riptide.
If you heard it, you know it.
I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about now. Okay. Do you prefer plays or musicals?
Musicals.
Name a food you refuse to eat.
Snails.
Oh yeah, I can get behind that one. If you
We agree.
Yeah. If you could have any paranormal power, what would you want it to be?
Travel.
Like,
I don't know if that's paranormal
or
power.
Or teleportation travel.
Teleportation. I'm like, I want to go to Aruba right now. I just want to be there. I don't want to have to get on a plane.
You know what I always say about that though, Brittanee, is that if teleportation does become a thing, I no longer have an excuse for being late. Right? It's just you did not adequately prepare to be there on time, which is 99% of my problem, right?
People just know that about me.
Right.
I'm just late.
Yeah, me too. And I wasn't pre-pandemic. I think I just was like, oh, who cares? This isn't a big deal.
Yes.
What is your favorite weekend activity?
Reading.
Oh, same. What is your favorite holiday?
Anyone where I'm on a vacation.
What type of vacation do you prefer?
Beach.
Yeah. What is your favorite childhood book?
I loved the Sweet Valley High series.
Oh gosh, we were talking about that the other day. We love that series so much.
Yeah, it was so good.
What are you currently reading, or what's the last book that you read and loved?
So I'm going into my hockey era because I am writing a hockey series. And so all I'm reading now is hockey. So I'm just currently finishing Helena Hunting's.
Yeah, Mindy's on.
I just met her.
Yeah, she's great.
Oh, nice. I heard I've talked to her. She's lovely.
She is very lovely. And I am so stoked about more hockey romance. I'm a hockey nerd big time.
Oh, yay.
Are you going
Well, then I'll be chatting with you and asking about all of the hockey books because I need
more to read. Recommend quite a few.
Are you going to be able to read Emily Rath's book before Lit, her Pucking Around series?
No.
Hers is really, really great.
It's amazing.
Funny.
I just know it's very long, so I won't be able to read it.
Long. It is definitely long. It's a quick read though. Like once you get into it. Yeah.
Oh, I've heard it's great. I might read like the second one in the series
or even you could read the very, very first one. It's like a
one night
pre-novella. Yeah. It's really, really good too. Yeah.
I should do that.
So final question in the speed round. What is your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure? Wine. I don't know if that's guilty. I don't feel guilty about it. I just know it's a pleasure.
So Brittanee, we're going to go into 3 tough questions, and these are more specifically about your writing, and then Mindy is going to go into 4 random questions.
Okay.
So can you tell us a scene that you edited out of a book but you really wish you had kept in, and why?
So there's 2. One is a scene that I'm probably going to release to my readers next week. It was an alternate ending to my last book, and it does feature Frank, who is Irish. It does feature him, and there is a threesome scene with him and the other couple, and they did get one of those, but they didn't get the steamier one. So I might
sign up to get this.
It'll be in the newsletter.
Your newsletter? Okay, I'm running to my computer now.
Yep.
So what's the second scene that you edited?
The second scene was actually the entire second book of Loving Whiskey. Was originally one book. And so when I read reviews that are like, oh my God, you made him such a jerk for a period of time, it was because, I had to write a second book, because I was told that a book could, like a contemporary romance couldn't be 130,000 words. So I had to make it into a duet. And then I obviously had to extend his jerkiness for a little bit while there. And there was a reason for it, but sometimes I'm like, I would like to write an alternate version and just condense all of that so people aren't so mad at him for such a long period of time.
Yeah, I disagree. I think you could have kept it that long. I've read a couple romance books that are that long. And I mean, sometimes I feel like, especially in romance books by the editors and publishers, get cut too much in a certain way because they're trying to keep it light. But not all romance is light, as you know.
No, and then you get to know the characters more if it's longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so can you tell us about a super specific detail about one of your characters that doesn't really change the story or the plot in any way, but makes them super special?
Frank swims with sharks every morning.
Every morning. Is that something that he just has to do, or because it makes him feel like a badass, or what?
They live in Maine. I mean, the book takes place in Maine in a cove on the ocean. So that is part of his workout every day. He goes and swims in the cove, which is obviously does have sharks. There's sharks in Maine. And yes, so he just does it as a workout. He's a former Marine. So like, I don't know. That's just part of his morning activity.
What'd you do today? I was like, well, every morning I go swim with the shark. I don't know if I can compete with that. No. Okay, so final question in the tough questions. If you could meet any book character in real life, how would you want to spend their time with them? Who would it be? How would you want to spend your time with them?
I mean, so I'd probably pick Jay from Dirty Truths, because he's like my perfect male, and he's hysterical. So I'd probably just want to like go have drinks with him and like listen to him talk and tell me funny things and call me I'm beautiful. And he also like, she has curves and he's always trying to feed her, and I like love that. So I'd want to be fed by him and like be told that I'm beautiful and feed me and, tell me I'm pretty.
So I'm pretty sure, just from context clues, that you have a partner. So would they let you put Jay on your list? Like, how would they feel about that?
So my husband he is based off my husband, so it works.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope that he feeds you and tells you you're beautiful all the time.
Sometimes. Not
maybe
quite
only when you ask, though, because that could be creepy if somebody's trying to shove food in your mouth and you're not hungry.
Yeah, and he doesn't let me, he doesn't believe in sharing. So, unlike Jay, which, he shares with Frank. So
I'd rather someone just seriously fill up my drink, to be honest.
Yes, absolutely. 100% that. Okay, so now we're going to move into 4 random questions, and that is exactly what it sounds like. These are 4 very random questions that are not connected in any way whatsoever. So the first one is, what is your favorite way to relieve stress after a very long day?
Wine.
Same.
I like it. I'm on board. What scene from a book inspires you on a daily basis?
I don't know if you've ever read the Wolf Hotel series, but if you ever need to get going, there are some good ones in there that live with me every day. Especially the truck scene. That's all I'll say.
It's a marriage boost, is what you're saying?
Yes, it definitely is.
Or a relationship boost, I guess.
I'm looking for that relationship boost in her newsletter next week.
I know, right? All right. So have you ever seen a ghost or had any kind of paranormal experience?
So we were in Salem. So funny. We were in Salem this week, and Jenny, my friend who also is an author, and her and I got this really nice room in the middle of Salem, and she was like really excited. She really wanted to see a ghost, and I really did not. I was like adamant that we were not going to see a ghost. And she was like, I feel like if I was more like if she didn't want to see a ghost, maybe we would have seen one because of that. But anyway, so I get home and my husband is gone and the house is quiet. And I'm getting water in the other room. And I swear to God, there's like something flying through the air. So I like run and scream and like turn all the lights on. And it was a freaking balloon.
I was about to say, oh my gosh, you brought something home with you, but no.
No. It was already there when you got there.
Yeah, no, it was a balloon, and the balloon scared the crap out of me, and I really thought it was a ghost. Yes, but when I was in Gettysburg visiting my grandparents, I did see a ghost in the corner. It could have very well been my imagination, but he was dressed in the Revolutionary War garb, and I was not happy about that either. I woke up my cousin and she was like, he's not there. It's like, he is in the corner staring at us with his rifle. Weird.
That's terrifying. So
Yes.
you'll find this hilarious. So we moved into this house about 2.5 years ago, and we talk about this all the time. There's a ghost in my house. But I was up one morning, like at 5 a.m., and I was getting coffee, and we were about to go on vacation. And I always like pre-purchase like non-perishables, right, to just take on vacation with us. And so I had all these bags on the table, and they start like rustling all of a sudden. And I'm like by myself, and I'm like looking around, and I'm like, what's moving the bags? Like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like so terrified right now. So of course, first I'm like, well, it's got to be a ghost. It couldn't be anything like on this plane of existence. It was Mouse.
Oh,
I would rather it be a
10
ghost.
times worse.
Yeah, I would rather have the ghost.
I think
for sure.
So yeah, so now we put the like bags of chips and stuff we take on vacation in a Rubbermaid bin with a lid, right? Because
Good
we do
plan.
have a basement and we might get in there, right? So yeah, I was so scared, but my husband was like, "Of course you went ghost and not critter." I'm like, "Well, I want it to be a mouse."
Ever.
All right. And the final random question is, what is your zombie apocalypse plan?
I don't have one, so it'd probably be screaming.
We always say we just want to die first because we don't want to have to go through all that.
Go
ahead and
Be
kill
like, yeah, I'm not going to be the one fighting the zombies. Like, I'll be the one that dies first. That would be me.
Or we'll die right next to you.
Yep,
We'll, take a glass
yep.
of wine.
Yes.
We'll go
We'll
out
just-
happy.
Yeah, we'll just drink a whole bottle in hand. It's all
I'm
good.
like, oh, that nibbling kind of tickles. Stop it, you know.
Okay, so we know you've got Irish coming out. Do you have anything else in the works? Are you working on something that you can tell us about?
So we will be announcing something at Lit
Ooh.
that we will have copies of something that we will be giving everybody. It is a project I'm working on with 3 other women, and we are super excited because it is, I will say, Fuller House with spice. So 4 women move in together, raise kids, and each book follows a different woman, and they are absolutely hysterical. So that is one thing I'm working on. I am also working on obviously the hockey series, and then a special project for New Year's Eve that I decided to write, 2 days ago. Throw a monkey wrench right into like everybody else's plans. And that is based upon Taylor Swift getting revenge with her ex-boyfriend's dad. And that's all I'll say.
Oh my God. Whitney, I'll buy you that for Christmas.
Yeah.
It sounds like my kind of book.
It sure does. Which
Taylor
ex-boyfriend?
Swift and daddy issues.
Oh, I had to do it.
Are you allowed to say which ex?
It rhymes with wake.
All right, gotcha.
I'm like, oh, what?
I know Whitney looks confused.
I know that and you don't. We'll talk offline.
Yeah. So besides Lit, which we've talked about is coming up in a couple of weeks, do you have any other festivals or events or projects upcoming?
I am going to Love in Vegas 2 weeks after Lit. So I have Lit, then Love in Vegas. And then I really hope nothing more for this year. I have Readers Take Denver in April. We have a readers retreat to celebrate the Mom Comes that I just gave away the name. The Mom Comes. We're celebrating that in January, the release of that.
That's what it's called, Mom Comes?
Yes.
Comms.
Mom Comes or Comes?
Mom Coms, like rom-coms, but they're the Mom Coms.
I thought it was Comes, and I was like, okay, we're getting right to it.
We are getting no, definitely more comedy than, definitely spice, but a lot of comedy.
Sounds good. Where can we buy your books? I think you would mention Amazon. Is there anywhere else that you, or any preference you have of where readers can pick up your books?
Nope, they can get them on Amazon. I am also having special editions for the Boston Billionaire series that will be available at Lit and Love in Vegas. And I will also have special pre-orders that people, for leftovers from that with boxes for basically everybody to buy, Christmas time area. So that'll be on my website.
Awesome. So, and then I know you're big into book talk. Is there any other online presence that you have that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I mean, I'm always on, I spend a lot of time on Instagram, so I'm always there, always chatting with readers. Always love when people slide into my DMs and ask questions or tell me that they love something or tell me that they're angry at me for doing something. It's fine. Because most of the time it's because they love the character and they're mad at the character, and that's fine.
But what you don't want is someone to slide in and tell you how to write your book, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, those, yeah, no, but
That
happens.
Just ignore those.
Yeah.
So our podcast is called Our Nerdiest Thing. So we do talk about several nerdy things, and often they come up with certain fandoms. So we were just wondering, are you part of any fandoms or anything like that? Are you a Swiftie?
I mean, I am. I love Taylor Swift. My daughter's obsessed. We went to the concert this year, loved it. Super, super fun time. So, I mean, that's probably like, I will Google everything that she does because I'm crazy. I am right now really wanting to know if she's dating the football player. I would really like to know that.
Travis
Inquiring minds would like to know.
Yes.
My daughter,
his brother said yes.
Oh,
Right, but then he was like, I don't actually know. Like,
my
come
daughter
on.
came running into the room after this last sale, and she's like, I got tickets for November. And I was like, that's so awesome. And she goes, oh, 2024. And I was like, oh gosh, that is a long time from now.
I know. I had tickets during COVID. I'd got them for my daughter. So at the time, I think I'd gotten them for her 7th birthday. And she's 10 now. And they kept, first they canceled it. But they had just kind of discontinued, said okay, you still have tickets for whenever we come back. And so they kept pushing it. And then it was, I think it was 2020 at the time, obviously. And the first date that they had, it was going to be 2023. And I was like, that's years from now. And then they canceled it. And I was so sad because we had really good seats to that one. And then when we had to go through the whole process again, we got crappy seats. And I was like, darn it, I wish they had just kept them. Yeah.
That is a super bummer.
Yeah, but it's okay. We had a good time.
Well, for our final question, we end our podcast every episode with our nerdiest thing of the week. And it could be anything. It could be book related. It can be, for me, it's oftentimes hockey related or craft related or whatever. So we would just love to know what your nerdiest thing of the week is.
I mean, I don't know. I've spent my entire week making PR boxes and looking up fun things to put in there. And I do totally geek out on little ideas like that and trying to figure out what to put in there. There's a certain color lipstick that the FMC wears that I wanted to put in the box. So I got really excited today when I found it.
Oh, I love that.
That's
You're very
fun.
detail oriented.
I'm really not. Really not.
I think
maybe only for boxes.
Right. I think the other nerdy thing is you just started another book this week. You weren't planning on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty nerdy thing and great thing.
Yes.
Always. It's always a problem.
But it'll be a great outcome. And all of your readers will be very excited about it.
They will.
Well, this has been super fun, Brittanee. Thank you so much for being on with us. We're excited to get to chat with you more leading up to and at Lit for the panel that we're going to be with you on. So we're really excited about that and getting to see you in person.
Absolutely.
So
thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Thank
Have a great night.
Bye.